Have you ever received a message like this?
The reason of this call is to inform you that IRS is filing lawsuit against you.
Or how about this one? You're browsing the internet and a pop-up comes up, informing you there's a problem with your computer and telling you to call tech support immediately.
It's very good that you called when you did. Now that you've given me access to your computer, I see why it's running so slow.
These scams are exploding. According to the Federal Trade Commission, complaints of fraud have risen 60% in the last 4 years. As we continue to move to a more connected world, imposters are finding more and more creative ways to contact you, gain your trust, and trick you out of your money.
Hello?
And they'll say just about anything to get you to believe them.
Just to scare them, we used to tell them, you will be behind the bars in the next 45 minutes.
This is a federal case. Don't blame me that I have got you arrested, okay?
Imposters know what to say to sound credible and how to motivate you to do what they want.
The local authorities with an arrest warrant can come to your doorstep, and if they come, your driver's license will be cancelled, your property, your bank account, everything would be seized.
Today we'll look at 2 of the leading scams that imposters use. We'll hear from the perpetrators themselves as they describe in detail how they catch you off guard and the tactics they use to take your money.
If we felt that we could get somebody that was gullible enough to really spend, it was almost unlimited.
So who are these imposters? What is real? And how can you tell? We're unmasking the imposters. Meet Dan Goldstein. Posing as a computer technician, he was part of an operation that pushed phony technical support services over the phone.
The consumers would end up on the phone with me by either seeing an advertisement or by actively looking out for the PC Cleaner, which was a downloadable software that would clean the background of their files and speed up their PC.
Dan's outfit operated a boiler room in South Florida under a variety of names. The company and its various aliases were sued by the Federal Trade Commission in 2014. Fortunately for Dan, he'd realized the error of his ways. Feeling bad for his victims, he quit before the authorities took down the operation. He's speaking with us today to help us better understand how the imposters work to gain your trust and take your money. What Dan was doing is a form of what's known as the tech support scam.
I didn't go in again knowing that it was a scam, but when the FTC brought it down, by that point I was well aware of what the company was. What we were doing was indeed very dishonest and immoral.
Dan's first goal was to take over your computer. He'd asked the victim for remote access, which allowed him to control the computer over the internet.
So you could have remote access, just click once.
We would remotely access the consumer's computer by downloading another piece of software so we could do so, and then say something along the lines of, while I'm already here in your system, how about you just let me take a look into it deeper to make sure that this speed your PC is what you're going to need.
But Dan had no ability to fix your computer.
I am not an expert computer technician in the slightest. Nobody in that room was a certified computer expert. Most of the people that I would say were in there were current or ex-alcoholics or drug addicts. It would literally just be following the script and the training that we were given to go through different aspects of the computer, where we would look at the processes that were running on the task manager and kind of showing you other areas that would essentially be, again, scare tactics.
And if you're not familiar with the inner workings of your computer, it can be a very confusing place. Imposters thrive on creating confusion, urgency, and fear.
The first thing I would do would be to pull up your task manager. We would go right down here where it says processes 94, and I would tell you, oh my God, you have so many things running in the background, this is insane, no wonder your computer's moving so slowly. And you can see, even though it's only 94 processes, it's really not using any of your computer. But people don't know that. All they see is this giant number here, and I say you shouldn't have anything more than 10. Without question, the scare tactic that worked best was the error log. It was the cherry on the icing of the cake, essentially, is all of a sudden this error log would come up, and for most people's computers, it would have thousands and thousands and thousands of errors from the day they own the computer.
Imposters exploit the fact that most people don't realize error logs register events that are perfectly normal and harmless. They make you believe that your computer has serious problems to get you to open your wallet.
After they've seen the error log, now it's where, we explain to them that I have in-house technicians that are ready to go and ready to fix this right now. No waiting for a call back, no having to drop off your computer. We can get this done from the comfort of your own home, and this would be the price.
Once he's hooked you, the question is, how much is he going to take you for?
Our job was to try and start as high as possible to get as much as we could out of them. There were some times where you could get $1,000, $1,200, $1,500 deal off one person, and you made $150 just on that call alone.
Knowing how imposters like Dan pull off their scams is the first step in ensuring that you won't fall victim to their tactics.
There's actually 4 different pop-ups.
At Microsoft's Digital Crimes Unit in Redmond, Washington, a dedicated team of specialists is fighting back. Computer system engineers, big data scientists, and forensic and legal experts scan the globe for trends and threats. Using the most sophisticated methods available, they collect evidence for criminal and civil prosecutions to shut the criminal networks down. Courtney Gregoire is the Assistant General Counsel for the Digital Crimes Unit.
Too many people are falling victims, and so we see more and more entities getting involved in this behavior. So it's really important for consumers to educate themselves, to be on guard. Any unsolicited information, unsolicited email, phone call, or pop-up, most likely that's a fraudster trying to take your hard-earned cash. At the end of the day, folks should just recognize, if I want to fix my computer, let me reach out to a trusted, respected organization and seek what I need. Any advertisements or pop-ups or phone calls that say, is your computer running slow? Do you think you have malware? Those you absolutely should be skeptical about.
While Dan operated out of South Florida, in today's environment, threats can come from half a world away. Meet Internal Revenue Service Officer Adam Smith, better known to his family and friends as Jayesh Dubey, a 19-year-old in Mumbai, India.
So when we picked up the call, we pretend to be the IRS officers. And we started like, hi, this is Officer Adam Smith. Thank you for calling Internal Revenue Service. How may I help you?
Jayesh and his friend Pawan Pujari were looking for work when they heard about an opportunity in one of Mumbai's many telephone call centers. He was impressed by the salary they were offering.
I was working there for money because they provided me, which nobody could provide me on the whole Mumbai. They were providing me 16,000 and the incentives were like 50,000 every month. Easy 50,000. And it is a whole lot of money. I was really interested, and anybody in Mumbai would be interested to work there.
Jayesh started off just answering calls from America, getting the victim to hand over money to pay their fictitious tax bill. The phone room reached out all over the United States every day.
The owner used to churn 50,000 voicemails every day. We used to get around 10,000 to 15,000 callbacks. We will tell them that, all right, you just help me with your first name, last name, zip code, and date of birth so that I can pull out your record from my system. I'll let you know 2 important points, that this call is being monitored and recorded and everything, and to the Attorney General's office. Please don't interrupt me while I'm going through your affidavit and all. Your assets and everything will be confiscated and you have to pay the penalty fees of $75,000.
These fake IRS agents don't hesitate to turn up the heat and threaten you with anything they can think of to get you to do what they want.
Go to the local police station. I will talk to them and I will prove you who I am and what I can do. You're trying to suspect on me? Don't blame me that I have got you arrested, okay? You can't blame that on me. You can go over there. I will get you arrested for sure.
You will never have a real IRS special agent call you in that scenario.
Paul Camacho spent 22 years with IRS criminal investigations, the part of the IRS with badges and guns, retiring as special agent in charge at the Las Vegas field office. The Criminal Investigations Unit became famous with the takedown of gangster Al Capone, and today pursues dark web criminals, international drug lords, mafia bosses, and other big fish who are hiding money and avoiding taxes.
A lot of people owe taxes to the IRS. That is not a crime. And if all of a sudden somebody surprises you with an unexpected bill, that's a scam.
We can never send a police to anybody's place because we don't know any police there. We don't know anybody in America. We are here in India.
Tell them, even use my name. Say, Paul Camacho says this is a bunch of BS and I'm not going to do it.
Like Dan the tech support scammer, Jayesh began to realize that what he was doing was hurting people and began having second thoughts about his job.
People used to also cry on the call. At that time I started feeling bad. That was the time when I thought that it's really not nice. People didn't have money to pay. They used to take it from their neighbors, friends and everyone. So it was really not good.
Fortunately for Jayesh and Pawan, they had just quit when 200 Indian police officers descended on the operation. Police detained more than 700 people working that day and seized everything inside. Law enforcement and tech companies around the world are working together to shut down frauds, and they need your vigilance to pursue these crimes. You can report tech support fraud to the Microsoft Digital Crimes Unit at microsoft.com/report-a-scam. And report IRS scams to the Internal Revenue Service by calling the Tax Fraud Hotline toll-free at 1-800-829-0433. But you also need to follow expert advice to protect yourself. Here are a few specific things you can do to protect yourself from imposters. Don't download free software to speed up or clean your computer. Don't click on pop-ups that say they can fix your computer. If you're concerned about the speed of your computer or fear you might have a virus or other problem, take your device to an authorized repair facility to have it checked out. The IRS will never call or robodial you without first sending you written notice. Never send money to anyone via gift card. You can't pay the IRS or settle your tax bill with store cards or debit cards. If you believe the call might be valid, hang up and call the IRS yourself directly to ask about your tax status. You can call 1-800-829-1040 to speak to a real IRS representative or go directly to the IRS website at irs.gov. For more information on how to protect yourself from imposters, visit AARP's Fraud Watch Network website at aarp.org/fraudwatchnetwork and consider signing up to become a fraud fighter. You'll receive regular alerts on the latest scams and become part of a vigilant army of fraud fighters who are saying no more to con artists, criminals, and thieves. Together we can unmask the imposters and protect ourselves and our loved ones from devastating scams.